everybody. Welcome to our new episode. We are Hoshi Rio. My name is Fernando.
My name is Kaiko.
Today's episode, we'll be having an interesting conversation, and I'll be asking Kaeko, being her the expert on this topic.
Lately, I'm focusing on connecting with my feelings in my body. So I'm
All right.
trying to find out who I am through the sensations and the feelings of my body. So,
Mm,
and I feel like this is kind of logical step after focusing on your healing, releasing, letting go of your emotions, and then this is a logical next step to sort of when you it's like this. So you clear all the emotions, all the energies, and then you get the clarity of where you are, kind of why you are experiencing what you have experienced. And then the next logical step is to, okay, so I don't want to be the effect of what has happened before. Keep,
mm,
allowing myself to receive the effect
yes.
of what has happening before.
Mm,
And then now, so how can I create from here onwards more
mhm.
proactively?
Okay.
Proactively.
Take
Yeah.
action.
Yeah. So in order to do that,
Mm,
yeah, the logically, I started to look into understand how to understand what I am perceiving in like every moment, because we are so oblivious to whatever the things that we are seeing but not really seeing. Because
yes, I
sometimes
know.
you look for the pen or something on the desk and then it's not right there, but we couldn't find it sometimes.
Mm,
And then we go somewhere and then come back and then realize there's a pen right in front of you. It's like that. So, and then also more than that, we also feel so much more than we realize. So, I kept on asking myself, what would it be like if we could recognize, if we could understand or see, feel, know, perceive everything that we see, feel, know, perceive as
okay.
as we do. So this is part of it.
It would be, I don't know, it would be amazing. And at the
I
same
know.
time, it would be,
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know how much our brain has the capacity, or the bandwidth to process so much information that it has to give it to us in packages. As you were talking about, I mean, what you were describing, the word intentionality came to my mind, like being intentional in where you
Yeah.
put your perception and kind of like being aware what's in front of you, what you're sensing, what you're feeling, and is this aligned with what I want to create? Is this something like that?
Yes, but slightly, maybe it's a different, but it's the same, but a different
Okay.
approach. Because sometimes with my personality, when I create an intention, okay, I want to create this, and
Mm.
and then sometimes because when I do that, I become single-minded too much.
Ah, I see.
And then with my personality, maybe it works with somebody else, but narrows down too much. So it's better for me to let this, creation decided by something more larger than me. So my
Mm.
intention in each and every moment is something like this. Okay, I wanna allow whatever I'm trying to create to happen in this way or that. So
Mhm.
so, so that's why I keep saying I want to create whatever I'm trying to create.
Okay.
So,
No, yeah, go ahead. I follow you. Yeah.
yeah. Instead of saying like, let's say I'm drawing a picture. I'm not going to decide what I'm going at the end piece, but I'm going
Mm.
to say something like, okay, I want to create something joyful and colorful and very energetic or something like that. And that can be, very well hung in this type of room with this kind of people and then things like that. But I'm not going to decide like, the final piece
Yeah. That's
No,
powerful. Mm.
I don't know how it's going to end up like, but I already know the kind of energy it's going to be. So
Hmm.
where I'm tuning, and I don't mind if it's going to be like, figurative or scenery or still life or abstract or whatever. It can be anything. But
Hmm.
I just decide the kind of energy, and then so that it allows me to keep my mind open as much as I can. So that's how I do with my trick, knowing how it works with me. So
Mm.
and so that's why I ended up focusing on how I'm processing the information that I'm receiving right now. Like, for example, when I focus my body, I feel like my right side of my body, more for the past couple of weeks, I feel like it's becoming kind of tightening. And then I just pay attention to that without judgment. I don't analyze. And then I feel like, okay, maybe I'm trying to, trying to receive something from my left brain point of view or something. So I just let it go. And then I also let it go. But also, it's very strange. This sounds very much like instead the opposite of letting go. I also
Mm.
try to tune into that frequency of tightening, the tightness, as if my whole body becomes the tightness.
Mm.
This is the way for me
That's
to
very interesting.
receive the message because my body is kind of bracing, for example. I take it like trying because my right side of my body or left brain is perceiving something that I cannot comprehend on my surface level. So
Mm.
my point is, if I receive that information on whatever level, energetics, let's say, it's going to be relieved. So in order to receive, maybe people can, I could probably previously go into the analytical mode, saying, okay, because of this or that, or because of my previous experience, blah, blah, blah. And instead of doing that, I kind of tuning into that frequency of that tightness. And then
Mm.
when I experience that, somehow I receive the information, and that information will be utilized at the rightest moment in whatever way, it works for me. And so by doing so, I just try to tune into that part of my energy. And the way I do it is like as if I become like, okay, let's say my right shoulder feels like a tightness, and then I become the right shoulder the whole
Mm.
and then experience that. And then I go like, okay, and then let it go of that, the whole body experience. And then, just move on to another part that speaks up to me. And this exercise allows me to divert my attention from, I feel tight, or, kind of narrowing down things,
Hmm.
or kind of
Hmm.
opening up and
Hmm.
allowing myself to feel more, and then
Mm.
let things happen as
Hmm.
it wants to.
Mm.
Does it make sense? It's more
It
like
does.
trusting my
Yes.
self, but not in as a single entity. It's like me as an entity, run by so many elements. It's like a, I'm like, it's it's like a team. I'm working
Mm.
as a team. My
Mm.
It's a higher mind, my body, and I don't really give any specific name to the team, like every team member, but I feel
Mm.
like I'm more like beyond my smallness anymore.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I follow you. I follow what you're saying. You know, it reminds me as you were talking, I was taking it all in, and
Mm,
at the same time, what many thoughts crossed to my mind. One
mm,
of them, there is this process called that's called focusing.
mm.
And with focusing, what we present in many people that want to work from the body sensation is, for example, they would say, I feel tightness in my neck, like, there's tightness, and they're trying to fight the tightness and they're trying to kind of like move the body. And one of the things with focusing is like, okay, just sit down, take a deep breath, one or two, and then just notice that sensation and say to that part of your body, I'm aware of you. I'm just noticing you. I'm allowing.
Exactly.
And what happens with the focusing process is that for the majority of the times, the body softens. It starts to soften.
Yeah.
And then what happens is that if you move to the other steps of focusing, you continue like just allowing the sensation, letting it emerge from that. I don't know, let's call it
Yeah.
intuitive wisdom connected to the collective, intuition frequencies. I mean, it comes, a message comes. So is this something,
Yes.
would be something similar?
Yes, but I'm not trying to like trying in vain to receive the message. It's just
Aha.
yeah, because that also with my personality really focusing because
Narrows again. Yes. Okay.
I
Gotcha.
already decided. So my intent is like, okay, when I do this, I already received the message. And then I don't need to know the content of the message in a way like I read my books. You get
Mm,
information in a verbal way, like in words, so you can make sense. And then it
mm-hmm,
have to be that way. It's just
mm,
like hugging someone and you
mm,
hack someone and then the work is done. You don't need to
mm-hmm,
analyze it. And then it's
mm-hmm.
making sense.
Powerful.
And then also like when we like paying attention is already the most of the job is done when we pay attention because our body, so when we feel something like anything. Like when you go into a room and then you perceive the energy of it, and then your body reacts to it. And if we are unaware of that slight shift in our body, when you shift so the frequency changes, we
Mm-hmm,
kind of compensate that frequency by ourselves. And then we shift our body again. And then keep shifting. And then we ended up, standing
mm-hmm,
misaligned in a
mm,
in a slightest way we don't realize, and then we go
mm-hmm,
into another space and then we shift again and then we keep misaligning in this way without knowing. But when you first walk into the place and then when you slightly senses something and then you misalign yourself, and then if you become aware of that, oh, okay, I perceive something, and then without analyzing, because that's not really important. The
mm-hmm,
important is that I received something and then my body is reacting. And then you
mm-hmm,
pay attention to it, your body becomes relieved because you
mm-hmm,
know it. You get my message, which is the shift, not like
mm-hmm.
this or that or analytical part. It's not.
No, yeah.
So then your body becomes like, okay, my job is done. So let it go. And then you get the alignment. Yeah, gone.
What would be if somebody would like to start doing this kind of process, what would be the recommendation for somebody that is just starting? Like, oh, this sounds interesting. I've been there. What would you think would be maybe one step for a person to start doing this, to being aware?
I share this type of work with somebody who's been working on their emotions, which
Mm,
means like, like when you're really first starting out, often people don't have the concept of emotion uh,
Hmm.
as an emotion. People, what I mean is like when we are sad, we just become sadness instead of I'm processing this emotion
Hmm.
because of this experience. And then so this is I feel like that's kind of first step, like paying attention to what you are feeling instead of feeling it only. Does this make sense?
Absolutely. So I
Yeah.
just wanted to bring that questions for people that are listening, it's like to want to start. There is a lot of that we can receive just by allowing,
Mm, mm,
allowing,
mm.
allowing. And there's many things that I don't know, there's many things that they are so simple.
Yeah,
And sometimes because we are used to overanalyze or overcomplicate things, and they work in their own unique way, but the
yeah,
simple things can be very enlightening.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So like it's like having one cushion. And it is already healing because of that. You don't need to analyze it. You don't need any techniques, but you just allowing yourself to recognize what you are experiencing is already very healing process because there's a space instead of you the whole you experiencing as if you went to the 3D IMAX theater or something and experiencing it just like wow, which is like a stage where you are only receiving the results of what you experienced. But when
Mm,
you become just paying attention, I'm processing this, I'm experiencing this.
I'm
Yeah,
noticing.
yeah, noticing is
Hmm.
really a powerful step to make. So, and
Hmm.
then this body work is like as you, it's kind of naturally comes up as you go around, keep noticing how you are perceiving your life, your experience, your world, basically. So, and then beyond words beyond the analytical mind. So this is what I've been experimenting on myself and
Mm.
then sharing with my clients or yes, people who are interested in. Yeah.
I I'm listening, and I find this process to be very liberating
Mm,
also,
mm,
right?
mm,
It's like because it almost, I mean, I always, when talking with people that I see, a lot of the things that comes up is learn to pause. Like
mm,
learn to pause. Just pause. Take a deep breath and pause and notice and allow.
mm.
Um one person that I've been seeing is like saying, "Oh, Fernando, I hear you in my head saying allow, allow, allow," which is it's a key word. It's like a mantra, no? Um, I'm just talking about the benefits. What other benefits you feel or you think that come with this practice? Kaiko, anything that
I
comes to mind?
helped me over the years to understand uh who I am and what I am.
Mm,
And then also like almost like because the struggle comes in when you resist who you are. And then we
mm,
all experience that. And the process allows me to understand who I am and then also I'll kind of surrender this resistance because there is no other way. There is no other
wow.
and so less panicky and then less confused and then as you go along so that's the benefit I guess so yeah as you become more aware of who you are and what you have been resisting and what you have been fighting for which is to be who you are and then kind of surrendering to who you are you become confident you become more certain about the way you have been in this world, you
Mhm.
know, including the mistakes and then including the clumsiness and then including the, the struggle and then everything. You become like, makes sense. It's okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Just understanding what you have been doing allows you to feel, And then from this point onwards, you feel like, okay, I want to utilize, shift. The shift happens here.
Shift.
Yeah, I want to create proactively using all these information about who you are and how you've been doing and then how you struggle and then everything, and then
Mhm.
now I want to use it to create more proactively.
Mhm.
So that's the shift. Yeah.
No, that's great. I imagine, you know, I can see myself, for example, the before, like resisting, like touching the like, no, but what if this happens? And I have to focus and like be almost like narrow-minded and thinking like this is the way. But then when I take the time to just allow and like really just allowing, being that space,
Mm.
what may come from that can be so many things, and it comes to my mind that that could feel scary for the ego maybe or the attachment part.
Mm.
What do you think about this? Do you follow me with that?
Yeah, so are you saying that the fear comes into our mind when we try to do that? Is it because we are because of the ego or attachments to something? Is that what you are saying?
Yeah, so it's like I I've been in those states and where you're just allowing and magical things happen.
Mhm.
It's like just creativity is downloading. And then you're just a channel or a catalyzer of just things that are emergent that you don't know where they're coming from, but you're just allowing yourself to be there, and it just flows. But when there's a moment of doubt, when there's a moment of like, what if I let go and what if this happens? I mean, I'm thinking that part of me that's questioning that is the ego. And it's not that it's a negative or a wrong thing. It's just an attachment of myself that I've created to navigate. Anyways, that's a lot of analyzing as you can hear. But
Yeah.
it's I'm trying to, go through this conversation and like not just understand, but
Well,
share and anyways.
I can I just say something challenging here because
Uh-huh.
when we go into our analytical mode to try to describe and then make sense and then everything. It's our vain effort to to get over with this moment of, you know, it's like
Yes.
realize like how it's kind of shameful moment to realize how
Hmm.
in vain you try to you been resisting and then making mess uh
Yes. Yeah,
like
that's what I mean. Absolutely. It's in the same channel. Like that there's
yeah,
this little part.
yeah, because
Um,
fine, because when you allow you get this, suddenly you get the bird's eye point of view, like you suddenly leave your little brain here and then you see
mhm.
like things from above. That's why I'm kind of leaving this analytical way of processing energy for now, and then like really making a huge shift to reconnecting with my body, which may not be so kind of visually
Um,
pleasing anymore
yeah.
as you
Or
close.
familiar because we've been conditioned.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Condition is the word, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We've been told like you have to like angelic, for example, this word. What brings up in your mind is like fluffy like feathers and wings, and then which is okay, but we have to ex the in order for us to experience the kind of joy and the abundance or what have you, the moment in this planet, you need a body. And then you need to physically, through the body, you need to experience it, everything.
Hmm.
So we need to come down to the body, and then it's not going to be like, it's not going to be how can I say, visually pleasing, like we've been conditioned in your word. So
Hmm.
yeah.
So a couple of keywords maybe
Mhm.
for this episode is allow.
Allow, yeah, like just know that we are feeling, seeing, sensing, knowing, perceiving so much more than what what you think in your little mind. So
Mhm.
just noticing that is already powerful.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. It's always a pleasure to talk about these topics
Yeah.
and have these conversations with my friend here, Kaiko. Thank you so much, everybody. And remember, stay curious and
And
keep creating, everybody.
exactly. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.